Okay, back again. Alright, this is day 2. Yesterday I didn't get a chance to actually test the system. I got the smoke and everything working, and after spending half the day checking my engine leak down and compression and all of that and building this thing, I just decided to wait for the next day. But today I'm going to show actually using it. And I found a way that I actually could check the pressure. I had an old pressure gauge here that I bought from years ago. And it reads all the way down to 12 psi of pressure in increments of 1. So all I got to do is get it somewhere around 1 and 2 and I'm fine. So I just hooked it up this way. That's the little nipple that I found. A little tire or a tapered pressure thing from my midi vac. Put a little clamp on it to hold it on there, and it goes to the tank. That's the tank. So now with the pressure on, I got the valve closed. I'll just open up the valve until the pressure builds up to somewhere around 1.5 psi. And I found I can actually go as far as even high as 2 without this lid popping off. But let's see if we can do this. I don't need this light on right now. Just turn the handle over here until it climbs up a little bit, if I can do it slowly. I'm turning it now. Okay, there we go, starting to climb. I'll just turn it a little bit more. Try to get it to 1. And for whatever reason, once the air compressor gets lower in the air, this pressure climbs. So I don't know why. Right before the compressor kicks in, this will move up to like 1.5. So I'll keep it around there for now. But anyway, I know that that's somewhere around 1. So I can disconnect this now. And you see, even when I hold my finger on it now, for that 1 psi, it's about what I had before when I had my finger on. Alright, so now I'll turn on the smoke. I'm clipping this on. And you're not supposed to leave it on for more than 5 minutes. So I'll just take my stopwatch, reset it. And then won't go higher than 5 minutes. So we'll wait till this thing starts putting out smoke. As you can see, it's already blowing pretty light. But I had an interesting find when I did this. The system was pretty solid, pretty tight all around. I was completely shocked that I had no leaks on the intake, especially with all these couplers that I put together and everything. But the kind of leak that I did find kind of blew my mind, so I'll show you that in a second. Just let the smoke get a little bit denser, then we'll plug it up. Another thing is, if I do go over 5 minutes, this can gets really hot. I mean really, really hot. To the point it starts to actually melt the silicone coupler right here on the top. So you know that 5 minutes is the limit. But in that time, it already pressurizes the system. And once I take off this negative lead to cut the power to that resistance wire, that wick in there, it still blows smoke. So I can take it off and it'll still be blowing smoke, whatever's left over in the can, for at least another half a minute. So it gives it time to cool down, as well as I'm still pressurizing the system with smoke. So what we'll do now is we'll connect it to the brake line that I took off over here. You see, get it in the camera. I get in the brake line. And that starts to blow air in the system. And as you see, it makes all this smoke dissipate. I put on the light now. And it was really weird where I saw the smoke coming out from. Like I said, the whole system was pressurized. I didn't even think the smoke was getting back into the intake tube. So I disconnected that bolt right there, and as soon as I did, all the smoke started pouring from around the throttle body. Got a little smoke coming out the back there, but you know, it doesn't matter because you know where it's coming from. But I'll show you where I did find, and that was a little tiny leak here. This is the PCV coming off the intake, and that's the PCV valve right there. And there's a little tiny leak right on that. Now this thing had broke before and I wrapped it with tape, a lot of electrical tape. But you do see the smoke. Now I would never ever find that. It's just, I guess, a break in the tape somewhere. But that was basically the only intake leak I found on the intake side. Everywhere around the engine I looked, I really couldn't find any other smoke coming from anywhere. And like you see, it can come around the edges of everything. But what was amazing to me, it didn't start to come up yet, but I actually found a leak on the exhaust on my header. Let's see if I get this in focus. It's down in here. Right there where it's white, you'll start seeing smoke coming out of that pipe. Now I had a loud sounding engine and I just thought maybe, I didn't know what it was from, but I never thought that the actual header pipe that I purchased would be cracked right there. And I don't know if it can show, but it's a pretty big crack. It goes from one side right there, the little white line, all the way around to the other side in the back. But we'll just back off, and in a while you'll see that the smoke will start coming out of there. I don't know if you see it yet. But that was a really interesting find, because I would have never saw that. I just wouldn't have looked down. Even when the engine is running and I'm right in front of it, I'm not revving the gas, but I just would have never known. And it's not on the intake side, but I believe that still affects your fuel trims when you have an exhaust leak before the catalytic converter. Because then I think the catalytic, I mean, I don't really know. I know there's a second O2 sensor behind the cat, but it really just checks the efficiency of the cat. It has nothing to do with the fuel trim, for what I understand. But I don't know. So anyway, you see all that. I think I'm almost at 5 minutes. I'm starting to see the smoke pouring out of there now. And I don't know the pressure build up right now, but what I'll do now is just turn off the smoke and still let it blow. But you can see all that smoke coming off the exhaust, and I was completely shocked to find that. Where the pipe is cracked. So once again, I got the small leak here. And I'll fix that today. I'll just go to the dealer and get a new pipe, because I really can't find that in the store. Just put a whole new pipe on. The PCV valve I changed before, but that pipe was pretty brittle. And everything else is pretty good. No other leaks anywhere else that I could find. No smoke coming from anywhere. And it lingers so much that you can easily see it. If it's coming up from the back of the engine or anywhere else, it's very easy to see. Like I said, you can see with the exhaust now, it's just a plume of smoke right around the exhaust. So anyway, that's my smoke test. Works great. And it helped me find a couple of leaks that I'll take care of. I may see if I can weld that. I actually have a welder, so I'll see if I can weld that crack and see what happens with that. Alright, thanks again.